City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.
Kia ora tonight on City News. Mayor Steve Chadwick says she's pleased with the results of the 2014 progress report, but says there's still a lot of work to do. We have images from yesterday's Art in the Park, and organisers celebrate a successful Festival of Rugby League. The Council has released the 2014 Progress Report, which shows the progress against the Council's 2016 priorities. The report shows gains in the 4 key priority areas of inner city vibrancy, reinvigorated neighbourhoods, economic development and sustainable infrastructure and council services. At the release and press conference, Mayor Steve Chadwick said 2014 had been a tough year with significant changes.
I thought it was an exciting year, but now we've got to consolidate and grow. You know, you won't see jerky shifts this year.
The perception is, Steve, that you're ramming things through. What's your response to that from one or two councillors? You've no doubt heard those sorts of whispers or even read about it.
Yes.
Is it just politics really?
No, I think we've got to look at our council meetings schedule, and we have, because papers will come out at every meeting, and that looks like a decision made on the back of another decision, and so we've got to make sure that you spread the year and spread the papers that Jeff brings through to councillors for big decisions. They happened before Christmas. Some attributed, probably not correctly, all to my vision, but that happened at the end of the year, and it had been a busy year. So we've got to watch where the decision points are through the year so that you keep bringing the councillors with you too. But the energy's there, and I don't want to lose that energy. I've also been told by a lot of people, keep it going. We're liking what we see, keep it going. Don't get timid. So you get a bit of a mix of both, but it's not a bad thing to look at the pace.
To review the full 2014 Progress Report, visit rdc.govt.nz. And the city was abuzz at the weekend with bike festival events, a festival of rugby league and Art in the Park, making for a very interesting and entertaining time. Our cameraman Graham Jones went along to the annual Art in the Park event and captured these images.
Every dance with the guy who gives you the eye, let him hold you tight. You can smile, every smile for the man who held your hand neath the pale moonlight. Don't forget who's taking you home, and in whose arms you're gonna be, yeah. So darling, save the last dance for me.
The Rotorua Youth Council is looking for a new design for this year's Rotas card. The card offers youth specials and discounts from Rotorua businesses and services. RLC Youth Services Coordinator Reid Nakora says the design must be appealing to youth, trendy, colourful and exciting. For more information, visit the Council's website. In sport tonight, over 9,500 rugby league fans packed the International Stadium on Saturday to watch the Vodafone Warriors beat the Penrith Panthers 18-4 in an NRL trial. The game capped off a 3-day festival of rugby league in the city, with both teams making special appearances around town and at local schools. Our camera caught up with some of the Warriors players at the visit to Selwyn School.
Why is it important for you to be here today?
Just seeing our interest into our kids. You know, everything starts here in our primary schools, you know, so it's our grassroots. Just the healthy thoughts of water, sleeping, and you know, the main things we need to function for life. Yeah.
And the Waikato Bay of Plenty Chiefs have kicked off their Super Rugby season with a win 23-18 against the Auckland Blues. That puts the local franchise second on the New Zealand points table, just behind the Hurricanes on points differential. The Chiefs next face the Brumbies on Friday night. To your weather update now. Tonight mainly fine with a chance of showers, light winds and an overnight low of 12. Tomorrow Tuesday, fine spells with a few evening showers, light winds, a high of 22 and a low of 12. And looking out to Wednesday, fine with light winds, a high of 25 and a low of 12. The marine weather forecast, variable 5 knots but northeast 10 knots during the afternoon and evening with waves less than half a metre, and it will be mainly fine with the chance of afternoon showers or evening showers. Still to come tonight on City News, we visit the new Māori pop-up shop and talk with co-operator Mariana Ngatai, and we meet world-renowned author and business connoisseur Gertrude Macher.
Māori-made Rotorua started as a pop-up shop over the Christmas period, but has become so much more. It has become a collaboration of Māoris in business and also a way to promote the local artists that have collaborated to start the store. Miriana, please, can you go through the makings of the store for us?
The makings of the store came from a concept where artists came together and wanted to support each other, but also wanted to capitalise on Christmas. Over time, that idea just snowballed. It was an amazing time, but also a time that we saw that we needed to continue the presence of Māori artists working for themselves, also promoting themselves, still here in Rotorua. Very important.
So when the shop opened, how many people were involved? How many artists?
My understanding, there was about 13 to 15 Māori artists working here over a time. We didn't even get to meet everybody because everybody was so busy at that particular moment. But we do know as well that everybody had great support from the local people, but also from lots of visitors who were travelling through, not only just New Zealanders, but international visitors as well, came in and gave us such amazing praise for what we were trying to do, and also were spellbound, if you like, by the wonderful work that they saw.
Well, actually, on that note, the wonderful work, the quality of the goods that you have in here that you are showcasing is of a really high calibre. Can you talk to us about some of the goods that you have here to offer?
We have a variety of artists here, We have an artist from Auckland, Spencer Bellis. His mum's living in Kawerau still, so he travels through. He's based up in Auckland, but he presents us with beautiful black canvases that have whakatauaki or proverbs on them. They're very popular. We also have Tracy Robin here. She's working here today. And also she presents beautiful taonga, pendants, earrings, you know, the like that we all would love to wear, but we can't find them. We also have Tongohuia Maxwell here is here with her daughter, Tyler, who has just had a baby yesterday. How wonderful for us. But she has an array of merchandise coming from clothing to homeware, also to glassware, and tonga as well, pendants to share. Also behind me here with the T-shirts, we have Totaia Rendell here from Tauranga. He's been working really hard. He does the markets. Here now, he has a presence in town. And for myself as well, I'm an artist, I'm a teacher, I've been around the block a lot of times, but this is an amazing space to be in, to also ping, if you like, to share ideas, to get really excited about a concept that I think is amazing.
Now, one thing that really comes across is that it's authentic. It's authentic Māori artwork, whether it be in clothing or ornament or crafts. Can you please tell me why it's important for us to have these kind of goods and services available to our local Māori community?
Well, I think, you know, the there's a big push here to buy and promote New Zealand made, but there's also even a bigger push to promote Māori made. And the reason for that is our culture is our history and our knowledge and our language. So we feel that given the voice and taking the opportunity, it gives us a wonderful platform to show people that yes, we are working in our own fields, but we all still link back to our own culture. I understand that the beauty of our culture, of the designs, is very important to lots of people. So we want to ensure that Māori are the people who are capitalising on our tikanga, on our own Māoridom, if you like. That's really important. We all work in our own fields, we all have our own skills. But for me personally, I create everything, I make it by hand. I'm the person making it, I'm the person designing it, I'm the person putting it out there.
Therefore, you can guarantee its authenticity.
That's right.
Now, you did mention that when the shop opened, that you had a lot of good feedback. So was it a prosperous Christmas?
Very much so. But not only in monetary terms. I think for me personally, it is the uplifting of the knowledge of the local people and visitors, that they understand that we're here. There's a store here, and that store can also, supply the things they need, but also give them knowledge and give them a connection. That's a real different thing for people who come through. They don't just buy stuff and walk out. They purchase, they ask questions, and we talk. And when they leave here, they feel like family.
Looking at your store and thinking to themselves, actually, I'd like to go down there, I'd like to go check it out, I'd like some advice. Where do they come? Where is the store located?
So they need to be coming here to Hennemore Street, 1180 Hennemore Street. We actually call it Māori Street. Only because there's some other businesses who are local as well. The clothing clinic across the road, that's a local girl from Hunimutu. We have Auntie Annie's just up the road there. She's another local girl from Nongataha. Also, we're trying to get more businesses to come here and to also lay claim to Hennemore Street and turn it into Māori Street.
Oh, very nice, ka pai. Thank you so very much for having us. So there you have it, Rotorua Community, Māori Made Rotorua, 1180 Hennemore Street. City News today is down at the Rotorua Public Library, where they're playing host to an author, Gertrude Marche, sitting here next to me. But I really don't feel as though author quite sums up what you've done within your life and who you actually are. So what would you say your title would be?
I like to think of myself as a serial entrepreneur.
Well, actually, that's probably quite fitting, serial entrepreneur. May I please just go through a few of your achievements throughout your life? So you founded and acted as a CEO for a charitable organisation which supports children orphaned by HIV. Okay, now that's pretty impressive on its own. You have founded a medical recruitment company which you owned as well. Owned and managed a talent agency for ethnic actors. Developed a tour company as well, as published a number of books on diverse subjects from finance, property investment and guides to how to just be an amazing person by the sounds of things, Gertrude. So talk us through your life. Talk us through, who are you? Where did you come from? Why are you here?
Well, I was born in Zimbabwe, in a small village on the eastern highlands of Zimbabwe and Mozambique called Wedza. And I grew up in Zimbabwe, left when I was 3 to go and live in the United Kingdom with my parents. My dad got a scholarship to study in London. So my sister and I were very young at the time, and we went and lived in the UK until I was 6. I then decided to go back to the UK when I was 19 because I wanted to study and I wanted to see the world, and ended up living in Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland. I moved to South Africa for 7 years before I came to live in New Zealand.
Your father sounds like an inspiring sort of individual, because the first thing you said was he got a scholarship while living in Zimbabwe to study where?
In London.
In London.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. So you've had a pretty inspiring upbringing, would you say?
I think I would say that my beginning was very strong. I have two amazing parents because my mum and my dad actually shared the scholarship. So my mum became a nurse and my father became a chartered accountant. So it gave me a very good footing to start off in life and to just explore the world and be curious about the world.
Be curious. I like that. I really do like that. So being curious, you went off and studied. What did you study?
I studied business. I did a Bachelor of Commerce degree, majored in management and industrial psychology. But in another life, I had worked as a COBOL programmer for most of my life. So IT is my background. I was a web designer, project manager, worked in the IT industry for over 12 years.
Can you please take us back to the days in which you founded the organisation, the charitable organisation, to support children with orphaned by HIV? Can you just take us back to those days?
It was Christmas 2004. My parents had come to New Zealand for the first time. We were having Christmas lunch. I had friends around and we were celebrating Christmas. And a girlfriend in Auckland called me and said, Gertrude, switch on the TV, because Oprah was in South Africa. And she had gone to spend Christmas with 50,000 AIDS orphans. And she had these kids on a soccer pitch. And there was a point in that show when she opened up her hands. And she said, this is the lost generation of Africa. These are kids who will never get to go to school. They've lost one parent or both, and that Africa needs help. So I sat with my mother and I said, let's do a head count of the orphaned children on our side of the family. My grandmother comes from a family of 11 children. My grandmother had 34 grandchildren, and 19 of my first cousins have died of HIV-related diseases. So there's 49 kids on my side of the family.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I called my mother-in-law and did a head count on my husband's side, another 40. So between the two of us, we have 89 orphaned children in our family. So I said to my husband, I need to find a way that we can make some money that we can give away to take care of the kids. School fees in Zimbabwe is only $5 a month.
Really?
But Zimbabwe is now the third poorest country in the world. The average Zimbabwean lives on 30 US cents a month. And what that means is that children aren't going to school. So I decided to publish my first book. This is the one you see in front of you, Born on the Continent. And it is my life story from the time I left Zimbabwe until 2004. And I thought it would be a great way to create something that I could sell to raise the money. And I started giving presentations and talks all over New Zealand. And my target was to sell 100 copies a month at $35 a copy. And I would hit that target every single month, send money to Zimbabwe. And in the last 10 years, it has turned into a foundation called the Africa Life Education Foundation. And we currently sponsor 580 kids.
Wonderful. Look, we're going to cut to a break right now, but thank you so very much for that story, and I can feel that you're completely connected with both your family, your heritage and your culture back in Zimbabwe. We'll be back more with Gertrude just about other adventures that she's touched on, and also the thinking behind them. Thank you.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
So welcome back, Rotorua. We are doing part 2 with Gertrude Mache, whom is an outstanding individual, must I say. Gertrude, now what year was it that you moved to New Zealand?
I came to New Zealand on the 1st of November 2001.
Yeah. And what is it that you found when you came here?
The first impression I got was at the airport in Wellington. I came out of the airport and this lady had this bright smile and she said, "Welcome to New Zealand." And I felt like she really meant it.
Nice.
Because I had traveled all over the world, and especially on a Zimbabwean passport, the first thing that happens is you get frisked. You are normally put aside and questioned why you are there, when you're leaving. And that didn't happen when I got here. So that was my first impression. I came alone with 3 kids under the age of 12. We didn't even have enough money for my husband's air ticket, so I had to come out alone, try and find a job, and then send for my husband. And the kindness that I met, the people in Wellington, made me stay in Wellington for 14 years. I think New Zealand is unique in a number of ways. Everybody in this country is a recent immigrant. Mm-hmm. Everybody can say, my grandparents came from England or my grandfather came from Germany. We're all immigrants. And there is an acceptance of outsiders like I haven't seen anywhere else in the world. This is a very, very unique country in that sense.
Very open and very unique country. So on that note, what would you say that we have to be thankful for in our country?
Whew. I've just come back from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And I feel like for the last 6 weeks I've been in a black hole because of the lack of communication. Yes. You know, just access to electricity, running water, the internet. I think they're basic human rights, which we don't have. In New Zealand, you would never starve. There is a social welfare system that will catch you. And the areas where I work, there is severe poverty. You live in a very unique part of the world, and I feel really blessed that I'm here and I'm bringing up my kids in this environment.
Now, you are doing book signing today, but you're here for another reason as well, aren't you? To show people that they can write books in 40 hours, is it?
Yes, I'm very passionate about books. As a child, my father and my mum got me to read a lot. And I believe that everybody has a story and that a lot of people go to their graves with their stories. And I believe we change the world through our stories, because when people pick up my book and they read it, I've had so much feedback from people all over the world who've been inspired to do something different or to take action. And last year I came up with this idea that I would show people how to write a book in 40 hours because I've written 8 books. The first book took me 18 years to write, I must be honest. The second book took exactly 40 hours. And it was because when ANZ and National Bank merged a few years ago, I was asked to come and speak at the bank because they had 650 people who were not getting on. And I wasn't sure what to speak about, but I thought, let me go in and tell stories about my major life challenges and see if I could shift people's behavior in the workplace. And I did that very successfully. My presentation was called "It's Not About What Happens That Matters." And I literally put a photograph of me and a title and thought, gosh, that's a cool book title. And they brought in these people into the bank. There were about 650 people who came in groups of 100, 120, and I did the same presentation 6 times that day. And I gave everybody a feedback form, and I asked them to write down any questions that came up as I was speaking or any points that really hit home. And then at the bottom of the form, I said, today's presentation is based on a book that I'm writing. Would you like a copy? It's $25. And I pre-sold 348 copies of a book that did not exist.
Brilliant.
I was highly inspired to write this book.
Well, you had to now.
So I designed a process called How to Write a Book in 40 Hours, and that's what I teach.
That was world-renowned author and business connoisseur Gertrude Much talking with Melanie Groves. You can catch up on City News via our website or YouTube channel, City News Rotorua. We hope you've enjoyed your weekend. Thanks for joining us. Kumarie.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.